Liberia, this glorious land of liberty shall long be ours. Though new her name, great be her fame, and mighty be her power. Though new her name, great be her fame, and mighty be her power. And mighty be her power, and mighty be her power. 1, 2, 3, 4, in joy and gladness, with hearts united, we'll shout the freedom of our rights united. Long live Liberia, happy land, this home of glory, liberty of God's command. This home of glory, liberty of God's command. All hail Liberia, hail, all hail, Liberia, hail, this glorious land of liberty.
When the Lord God has not ordained you are only a man, you are not God. You can never determine my destiny. And when I say I believe to accomplish my purpose, and God has said, I believe it, and no man can stop it. Well, I will live, I will not die, I will live, I will live. God, you completely overcome the world. The key to life and death is in the power of your tongue. So whatever you declare shall surely be established. Whatever came to steal, to kill, and to destroy, but Jesus came to give us life, that we may have it more and abundantly. Life for your children, your marriage, your health. Life for your ministry, your business, your job. Life in every way, life in every form. That's what I say. I will live, I will live, I will not die, I will live. No premature death, I will live, I will live, I will live, I will live, oh, I will live to fulfill my destiny. I will live, I will live. anyo ke ya said asegun ogladio ya ba po o ba o le ya o na se yan be ya ba po o ya said ni o de ya ba po o ti lo ni on e o de o ta ko ba gan apongwa imanwo o mo ni ta ko ba gan dongo bi ajepa ba o gbeye ki agbeye ya ba po o ka yin ase o ya ba po o ya o di se yan be ya ba po o we ido ma ni ya jaju le yo ibo se ki mo e o ya ba po so ibo le o de ya ba po gbabo koro yan block le ya ba po yan block le o sa koda o ya ba po ibo kan mo e o ya ba po o we ya ba po yan da yan si o gun ya ba po tandi flora ne o de ya ba po o da ya se ni so flora si yo flora se o ya ba po ibo se ti mo e o fango ma ne je me we aye sekina di omo ne droge yi bia de bia la ne adi o ya ba po bawo ko ya ba po ibo ga imo e o maturangi sa wa jere masema bu seinese ade o dane audie mejo dane ji ya ba po me ya sende au kun ba yo me ya sende au kun ba yo audie le ya ja judu si lo yan lo ga imo e o ya odi se yan be ya ba po e ya sende ne ode ya ba po dane aguyo ya ba po ama
coming your way as well. So we want to welcome you this morning to this special broadcast. I am Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. We want to welcome all our viewers and listeners inside Liberia, wherever you are. We say it good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to this editions of LPR TV special. I'm Alfonso Zienso. We want to welcome you here this morning, this afternoon. Thank you for being part of this program. There will be two programs. The first one is taking place 12:30 Eastern Standard Time right here at the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV, and at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As you know, the number two editions of our Thursday program, All Things Considered, in two segments. The first will be our health talk with Professor Joel. I will be here this evening. As you know, a lot is ongoing globally when it comes to health, and we here at LPR take that seriously to also create the sort of educational programs and information to let you know some of the basic tips. Those are things you already know, but as we all know, we most of the time downplay the issues. So we here to always serve that reminder to you as well. What? We want to welcome you to a lot unfolding in our country. I guess you know by now that there was a nation's address yesterday by the president of the U.S. here, President Donald J. Trump. New measures been put in place, according to the administration, to arrest or curtail this coronavirus that WHO has declared epidemic. So more or less, it has become serious than we, you and myself, thought of it being. So I hope you glue to news and monitored outlets to know what is going on. Interestingly, to show how serious it is, interestingly, the health minister of UK is infected. So it means no one is free. It can be anybody. So you want to take those basic universal type precaution, and that's why we're going to be having Professor Joy here to help us out here, people with the expertise, and that's what we do here at LPR here to always not just to critique but also be part of our basic community engagement. What another date in the nation's capital of Monrovia, in the nation capital of Liberia to Monrovia. There was a demonstration there today by the press unions of journalists group, media to electronic and print media assembled today to front or to express their disagreement or petition. We got a copy of the position statement here that we're going to be going through it. But this network is in the business to create fair and balanced objectives. We know there are going to be two sides of the story, and so we're going to be providing you the platform here as I set the stage. At some point in time, we will leave the line open, and you will be making your meaningful contribution. And that's what Liberia Public Radio is noted of doing. The station manager inside Liberia, Mr. Mark Down, is in urban Liberia, also rendering services to our people, teaching them different types of skills. And those are things that we believe in strongly. LPR, we believe news must be proportional. Not every time we sit in Monrovia, Capitol Hill, Executive Mansion, or Temple of Justice, and we feel that we have all of the news. No, that's not who we are, and we decided to go beyond the borderline, beyond our comfort zone, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. But what is happening within Liberia, the media industries and the government, is there anything that the people inside Liberia or the government knows, the media and government relationship, is it being executed really, or where is this problem is coming from? Depending on who you talk to, they're going to have their own views and opinions with respect to it. But we're going to put it into context. Some of the work of conspiracy theories or lies has been disseminated by individuals and even to the extent of national leaders. So it is not in Liberia, right here in the USA and other parts of the world. We're going to bring that and put that into perspective. We're going to have open the phone lines here as well, before we can have this sort of discussion. But today is someone's birthday special, and I want to be going to that. To wish and happy birthday, Miss So. But in the meantime, we're going to take a quick commercial commitment. If you are a graduate of St. Patrick's or St. Teresa's Convent, there's a big event on the way in Atlanta, Georgia, and one of the famous and renowned artists, D12, will be in the house. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and I will be right back.
D12 on the beat.
Calling all Saints and Friskies, we're shutting down the ATL on Memorial Day weekend with 3 days of activities for the whole family. Day 1, the Masquerade Ball. Day 2, annual business meeting and evening of elegance with special guest performance by D12. Day 3, family day and fundraiser, culminating with the all pink and white jazz night. So tell a Frisky, tell a friend, tell a saint. For more information, visit us at www.stcspHS.com or call 404-317-7122 or 404-593-8961. See you there.
D12 on the beat.
Calling all Saints and Friskies, we're shutting down the ATL on Memorial Day weekend with 3 days of activities for the whole family. Day 1, the Masquerade Ball. Day 2, annual business meeting and evening of elegance with special guest performance by D12. Day 3, family day and fundraiser, culminating with the all pink and white jazz night. So tell a Frisky, tell a friend, tell a saint. For more information, visit us at www.stcspHS.com or call 404 317-7122 or 404-593-8961. See you there.
There. D Tort, one of the renowned and famous artists, he will be in
Calling all Saints and Friskies, we're shutting down the ATL on Memorial Day weekend with 3 days of activities for the whole family. Day 1.
Yeah, we're going to be hosting them here, as a matter of fact. I want to welcome journalist Samuel Abu. I hope, Sam, you will have the time to also chip in here this evening to get a take what is unfolding in Liberia relative to the government of Liberia and that of the media industry. But I want to take this time here. There are certain time in your life you have to remember special people. Today, my sister, oldest sister, she's already considered as a man, is celebrating her birthday today. So I just want to take this time to be gracious to her as well for all of the good care from Stephen Tower from Oro Gaytown. That is from 1981. Gaytown, inside Gaytown to Stephen Tower Estate to bypass to Ghana. To the USA. Yeah, that's a very long journey. So let me just do this as a special treat for her, okay?
Now the day where you come to join the people we be non stay for this world before you come anything where you see for this world, whether good or bad, make you take so now so everybody come in the world, We the advice you say, any walk where you they walk, make you put your mind there and walk and fine, make you know they talk like, make a yes be yes, you know be no, then you go live well for this world. So God go bless you, give you long life, give you many birthdays again. So God go bless you, give you long life, give you many birthdays again. Say thanks to you, happy birthday to you. You go live long for this. Say thanks to you, we beg God to give you many to you. Say thanks to you, happy birthday to you. We did the born you. Say thanks to you. How many months ago? To you. How many weeks ago? Say thanks to you. How many years ago? To you. You go live long for this world. Mama, yeah. Happy birthday to you.
All right, that does it here. Let's get it wake up the community going. And so let's get it wake up the community going. That is enough. I want to say a happy birthday to someone that has been there very from day one. As what you say, Steve, so many names the children call her. Today is a birthday, so we just want to also acknowledge that for all that she has done and I continue to do. Let's get back to what is happening inside Liberia and other parts of the world. I want to welcome Comrade Melvin Datuhawa. Is the president of the University Alumni Association and also a cardinal from the Wallen V.S. Tutman High School right here in my own ocean state of Rhode Island. Thank you for joining us here this evening. My man Dolot and all of you folks training with me this morning. We're going to be taking us at high call issue. Like we said, there was another demonstration inside Liberia this morning. This time by the press unions of the Republic of Liberia, PUL, for what it calls brutality against journalists by security forces of the CDC-led government. A position statement was presented simultaneously at the legislative branch of government and also right within the proximity of the lawmakers They also proceeded down to the Foreign Ministry that houses the President of the Republic of Liberia, where the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Minister Nathaniel Fallon McGee, received a statement from the aggrieved journalists. We're going to give you a little shout out here to some of the same what happens if you miss it this morning, courtesy of our sister network in Liberia. I want to give you that image, and then we will be coming to you. We want to welcome our own main journalist on the ground, Daniel Katet of the Liberia Public Radio. These are folks that are working hard, feeding us with information. But let us just give you what unfolded this morning. The press union, journalists, members of the association, both electronics and print media, they converged at the Capitol where the statement was presented and later moved down at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the official house of the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Dr. George Manneh Weah. Let's watch some of the images this morning, courtesy of our sister network from inside Liberia. And we will be coming right back. I'm Alfonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Stay tuned. I will be right back.
Where we go? You ain't come back. Let's go. You out campus and come back. We should go down. We are not enemies. videos. We are not enemies. Stop 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 videos. We are not enemies. We are not enemies.
Chanting slogans that they don't want Smith Tobe to receive the petition. Why you don't want Smith Tobe?
We already compromised. Yes, we compromised ever since about the issue of exceptional journalists. Remember, you were on the radio show that no journalist was beaten, nobody was manhandled. So based on that, it's already been compromised. If we gave you our petition, we think that there will be no redress.
What's your name? What's your name?
My name is Masa Kane.
Okay, thank you.
He's compromised. Smith Tobe is compromised. So Kevin is compromised. We don't want any of them.
What do you want? Okay.
We want my girl. We want my girl.
So there's a standstill at the Foreign Affairs Ministry. Journalists from all over Liberia, different media institutions are staged for peaceful protests in demand of their rights against brutality.
I put that thing, who calling me?
A group of women journalists, female journalists with placards. And I guess that's where the petition will be presented. Everyone has been given free entrance to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
They are not enemies.
We're fighting for joining freedom.
Yes.
First freedom is what we're fighting for. Walk on the ground. The day our people told us that to join them, be prepared at any time. When we are prepared, the spirit of our people still there.
not present the thing. Nobody come back. Everybody come back. You can't be the president. All of you,
you ready for over there? We're gonna get your face, man. You can't go tell him.
No, you can stay your back to us now. Right, so be your back like this small. Better.
all right. All right, please, ladies and gentlemen, quiet. Honorable Minister of Honorable Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, and other officials of government, the press union have come to present this petition. Petition. Whereas the press union of Liberia is an umbrella organization of journalists, Liberia founded on September 30, 1964, primarily for the protection and the provision of a safe working environment for journalists and media workers. Whereas since the foundation of the union, there continue to be attacks, detention, intimidation, and suppression of the media and media workers, with several police losing their lives, with a radical and brutal security officer with impunity. Whereas this brutal attitude towards journalists remains a major challenge for the press union of Liberia, with successive government doing little or nothing to avert this maltreatment of journalists simply for doing their jobs. Whereas the protection of free speech, freedom of the press, and protection for media workers are fundamental rights under the Constitution of Liberia, the United Nations Convention on People and Human Rights, and the African Union Convention on Human Rights. Whereas in recent months, the attacks, detention, intimidation, and brutality meted against media practitioners have become unprecedented, with 7 journalists being attacked just in 2 weeks, and 10 journalists attacked in 3 months across the country. Whereas PUI consider these attacks, detentions, intimidation, and brutality against media personnel as deliberate attempts to force journalists into self-censorship and deny the public of credible, balanced, and accurate reports of the operations of the country. Whereas in January 2020, the late journalist Zeno K. Miller complained of being whipped by some officers of EPS while trying to lead the SKD, where he was providing radio commentary for OKFM at the finals of the National County Sports Meet. Whereas the government of Liberia is here to launch investigation. Whereas the government of Liberia only apologized for its failure to promptly investigate and offer to conduct an autopsy, which the family of Zeno Miller has refused to do. Whereas another journalist, Christopher Walker, reporter at Front Page African newspaper, was brutally flogged by some officers of the Liberian National Police at the semi-final game of the National County Sports Meet, and the LMP here to investigate and penalize the officers who whipped the journalists. Whereas a journalist in the southeastern county of Maryland, Brian Deal, was assaulted by officers of the Liberian National Police at the checkpoint in Riverside County while traveling to Harper from Monrovia. Deal has sought to board another vehicle after going thorough security check since the check of the vehicle and other occupants was prolonged. Whereas in February 2020, journalist Kennedy Clark, manager at the Riverside Broadcasting System, was attacked by officers of the Liberian National Police and briefly detained in Yaba Town, Riverside County, while traveling to Buchanan, Grand Bassa County. Police allege that Clark was arrested on a commercial motorway for crossing a police checkpoint without regards for a stop order. General Clark denied the claims, insisting he was arrested after refusing to pay out to the police at the checkpoint. He has been critical of police operations in our county. Whereas a week earlier, Methuselah Gay, fabric radio correspondent in Riverside County, was also arrested and detained at the Yabatan Police Detachment after being accused of allegedly posting on his Facebook page unverified information concerning the police commander of the region, Fasil Sharif. Whereas Josephine Siki, a female reporter, was also pulled off the motorcycle by a police officer on her way from work. Siki was badly injured. Motorcycle is a fast means of commuting in Monrovia. Whereas this month, freelance journalist Oruba Akwe was arrested and incarcerated by the Liberian National Police Criminal Investigation Unit in Bojima County in the north of Liberia.
Journalist Akre was charged with criminal malevolence, which has been decriminalized in this government. Criminal solicitation and publication of classified sensitive financial documents about the local community college. Whereas a report of Sakon newspaper Benjamin Toby, spent a night in police custody in Gardnersville, a Morovia suburb, for simply inquiring about a report of a police officer discharging firearm during a land dispute in that community. Whereas General Salon Haloko of Mangi Online TV was attacked by an agent of the Executive Protection Service EPS while covering a protest of the War and Economic Crimes Court. Haloko was beaten, his camera, cash, telephone, and other broadcast equipment forcefully taken away. Whereas the Liberia National Police also detained Ayi Delis, a journalist with Troop FM, for attempting to interview the War Crimes Court advocate Manuel Service. Whereas General James K. Kadi on yesterday of the news newspaper was wounded after being attacked by a police officer, officer of the Liberia National Police, while en route to Central Morovia on a commercial vehicle. Whereas the President of Liberia has communicated with the relevant security agencies whose officers perpetrated these attacks against journalists with no action or investigation undertaken to address these complaints of maltreatment. Now, therefore, the President of Liberia calls on the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency Dr. George Manewe, to commission a transparent and broad-based investigation of the accused security agencies and their officers complicit in these wanton human rights violations, with a view to penalizing those who will be found guilty. The President of Liberia also calls on members of the international community, including ECOWAS, AU, United Nations, United States, to prevail on the government to make sure perpetrators are brought to justice. We also makes a clear call to international media advocacy and human rights organizations, including the Center for the Protection of Journalists, Report of our Board of Freedom House, Amnesty International Human Rights Watch, to pressure their partners and governments to insist that this administration set up this program to bring the perpetrator to justice. And these actions, when taken, will stop negative profiling our country on this 12th day of March 2020 in the city of Morovia. Thank you very much. Honorable Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, this is information. I'll present this petition to you.
Thank you. Thanks a whole lot. I will turn it over, since it's addressed to the Office of the President. The President's Chief of Staff and Minister of State is here, and he will be taking this document directly to the President for his review and for further action in keeping with your recommendations. Because you know this government, we advocate press freedom.
That was the position statement today presented
press,
to
there
the...
cannot exist democracy in our country.
Okay, there you have it, folks.
Listen to all of the work.
That was the position statement today presented to the government of Liberia through one of the principal deputies to the President of the Republic of Liberia, the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, the Honorable Nathaniel Falat Mangi, received a statement today on behalf of the government and the President of the Republic of Liberia, Elliot, the members of the press union, disseminated on Capitol Hill. So where is all this coming from? What is the relation between the government of Liberia and that of the media community? This is not just only Liberia alone. Government and media relationship is very much key, is very much important, but from time to time, consistently, we have seen the sort of friction that have developed. And there's a need that national government and the media have some sort of coordinated relationship in terms of how that government going to push her agenda. And this is not a good thing. I don't care how you feel, how you think, but taking a holistic approach to this is not a good thing for our country to see the media, the folks in the media industry. I am not saying here that everything is 100% good on the side of media personnel. That's not it, but I'm looking at the bigger picture in the interest of the country. It is the responsibility of the government to ensure that there's some sort of better coordination. That's what the Ministry of Information, which is the arm of government responsible that have oversight or that coordinate with the media industry, should create that sort of rapport or good working relationship. If there was anything developing from the media war with that of government, as you know, the media is also a watchdog, and so they have their own job and function to not just only to the government, but to the state and citizens. Power, the strength of the media cannot be underestimated if you just do not know it. Because the media, they have the capacity to retweet, to restructure your message. And that can be a potential problem. I have not seen anywhere in the world where you will go against the media and you think you're going to be a victor. Well, it's just not possible. Because you're going to put yourself in a damage control situation where you will provide explanations and justifications on the part of government. And so there's a need that the government of Liberia do everything possibly they can to coordinate. Media to relationship is far back. It influences a lot of decision making in the country. Not just only about because we are so drawn into the political aspect of Liberia, so to say, that's the only way. But media it gives you the opportunity to make some informed decisions, school that you want to go to, things that you need to know within the community, outside of government, in the public sector. They have the ability, be it electronic or print media, they have the ability to make your message to reach to the target point. And so if you create that sort of fragile relationship with the media, it makes it very, very difficult. But at the same time, the conspiracy in today's world media has led to what is going on today. And it is not Liberia alone. In the West, and even folks who tend to be supporters of government, they also preach those sort of soundbite and conspiracy theories that all help to exacerbate this. What are we talking about here? We're going to play you a couple of videos here to give you a clue how things work. And I'm not sure whether these people to take instruction from the government, but from the tone, from their message, it seems to mean that they are promoting the agenda of the government. And if they are promoting the agendas of the government, and the government is not doing enough to restructure their message, and I'm not sure how well they are doing for the government. But I would take you from here to in the Western world, the conspiracy theory that is also being propagated, that also has influence into this life. I'm going to shoot you that video, and we'll come to some of the soundbite of some of the talk show hosts here. Their statements, their comments in the past has also influenced in some of the things that are happening, and they are not helping the process. And if you are a talking person for the government of Liberia, which of course you have the right to take a decision to who you believe in, be it the government or the opposition, but you do have a responsibility in making sure that the right thing is put out there while people sit on their voice. And they must be able to have a good takeaway. But let's see some of the conspiracy theory from the West here, and we want to bring that into perspectives of what is happening within our own community and some of the problems we are facing today. And believe me or not, as we said, this network, we always give you the opportunity to express your view. I am Afonso Zienso of the Liberia Popular Radio and LPR TV. I will be right back. Let's look at some of the conspiracy and falsehood within the West, and we will come right back home in our community. Stay tuned. I will be right back.
At the height of the 2016 election, researchers released a report warning about a strange propaganda technique.
Another day, another lie, another conspiracy theory, another falsehood.
They called it the fire hose of falsehood, when a propagandist bombards people with more lies than they can possibly keep up with.
Why all these lies? Why is it lie after lie after lie?
According to the report, these lies don't have to be believable.
It wasn't just a lie, it was such a bad, obvious lie.
Researchers found that even obvious lies had the potential to be highly effective at shaping public opinion.
I mean, he just says things, and then they are the truth in the world of the Donald.
The thing is, that report wasn't about Trump. It didn't even mention him. It was about Russian propaganda. And it raised an interesting question. How could a powerful leader benefit from telling obvious lies?
signed more bills than any president ever.
The president just simply lies for no reason.
I was against the war in Iraq.
Why lie about something that you don't have to lie about?
You have people registered in 2 states. They vote twice.
Why does he keep repeating it if it's obviously not true?
We're gonna get to Trump in a minute.
Hell yeah.
But before that, we have to talk to Christopher Paul.
I'm a senior social scientist at the RAND Corporation.
He co-wrote the report on Russian fire hosing, and he described it as having 4 key characteristics.
Russian propaganda is high volume and multi-channel. It's rapid, continuous, and repetitive. It makes no commitment to objective reality, and it makes no commitment to consistency.
Ooh, sounds like Trump.
Can you give me a second? I'm building a narrative here. The first 2 characteristics are pretty standard for propaganda. Research shows that if we hear a lie from multiple sources, we think of it as more credible. The same is true for lies we hear repeatedly. The more familiar we are with a lie, the more likely we are to think of it as true. But the last 2 characteristics, no commitment to objective reality or consistency, that's surprising.
They don't care that much about the truth. Much of their propaganda is either completely false or has a kernel of truth.
Maybe the most jarring example of this was in 2014, when the world watched as Russian troops entered Ukraine.
There were a bunch of Russian soldiers wearing uniforms without insignia, and those were dubbed Little Green Men.
This was a huge deal. Russia was essentially invading a country they had said they were not going to invade. But when Putin was asked about it,
were these Russian soldiers? No. These were local self-defense forces.
Putin vehemently denied, no, the Little Green Men are not Russian soldiers.
It wasn't just that Putin was lying. He was lying about something so obvious. There was footage of the soldiers airing on TV.
Russian troops spreading out throughout the strategic Crimean Peninsula.
And then, a few weeks later, he just said the opposite.
Of course, we had our servicemen. They were acting very correctly.
No, I'm sorry. No, I misspoke. Just, of course we have troops there.
This is counterintuitive. This is not what I expected, because I come from an influence background that says credibility is king and the truth will always win.
Part of being a good liar is not getting caught, making sure your lies are at least somewhat believable. When Dick Cheney said,
"There is no doubt Saddam Hussein now has weapons of mass destruction,"
he was lying, but to most people who aren't intelligence experts, it sounded credible. If someone asks,
"Hey, did you eat my sandwich?"
You'd say, "Nope, I brought my lunch from home." You wouldn't say, "You never had a sandwich." But when it comes to fire hosing, believability doesn't really matter.
I think being willing to not be seen as credible is okay with the Russians.
We'll come back to this, but right now it's Trump time. Since the election, people have pointed out that Trump uses fire hosing too.
I really had no view that this would be anything that anyone would think about applying to American politics. That's not what I'm about. I am concerned with foreign intervention in our political processes.
Okay, fine. Donovan, bring in the second interview, please. Thank you.
There you have it. There you have it. There's a video there. We'll try to backtrack and bring you into perspective some of the conspiracy, the falsehood, the lies that also been inserted into this politics, for which the media now today is also being the victim of things, because there are other people that preach this sort of conspiracy, lies, falsehood, without basic truth. Nothing informations are now authenticated, so even the lies in Liberia is not of today. It is also in the West. But we also have individuals or folks here in the USA who tend to be supporters of the government. That I said, there's nothing wrong with that, to support the government, to support the opposition, to serve as their talking point. I surmise when you are doing that, you must be honest, you must be able to perfectly articulate their message in order for the Liberians or the electorate to see reason why there should be alternative. But that seems not the case. Are these people, is the government aware of what they are doing? That I'm not sure of. Or are they doing it out of their own violations to help government propaganda? Their lies, conspiracy, soundbites, and some of their comments has helped to exacerbate the political tensions in Liberia. Let's watch and see.
Senate don't make, Senate don't compromise Madam Salif, that's why he died, and 300,000 people died today. They seen Samuel Doe, they seen softness. He never listened to his people. That's why we lost 300,000 people's life today. Because one mistake Samuel Doe made, he never killed Madam Salif. If Samuel Doe could kill Madam Salif, because let me tell you one thing, always you kill the head, the one, the sponsor, you get rid of them quick. You get rid of them. If Samuel Doe, because Madam Salif was the one that was lobbying in America, that was putting money together. If Samuel Doe could listen and kill Madam Salif, 300 people death will not be compromised today. 300,000 people will not die today. That's what we're looking at today. Because Doe compromised Madam Salif's death, he left Madam Salif. Madam Salif came back and fought, and today we lost 300,000 people, and plus he lost his own life. I will say this: when Prince Johnson went in a barrel, when the people told Doe, they said, Doe, let's kill Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson should not go. Doe said, oh no man, I'm a friend. You're leaving. Prince Johnson left. What happened to Samuel Doe? They killed Samuel Doe because what? He compromised with Prince Johnson, so he died. Their government is, Costa is a trouble man. You see, he left, some people need to die for the country to move. Let me tell you, Liberia is the only country that fought war, but cannot think about the war they fought. All the countries that fought war, they in peace. Somalia fought war. That's why, I mean, Rwanda fought war. They fought war. That's why they in peace, because the people think about the dark days. They don't want it to be repeated. That's why you see they in peace. Ethiopia, they fought war. That's why they in peace, because when they think about it, they left, that they lost. They don't want it to be repeated. But Liberia is the only country that fought war and forgotten about the war that they fought, that took away lives. Henry Costa need to be killed. And I said it on camera. Henry Costa need to be killed to save life. You cannot overlook him. The level he's gone, his agenda. I'm saying this because people advocating. They got people that advocate real. They got people that advocate because they ill in society. Yeah, we know them and we know intention. They see things that we never noticed. When Madam Salif they were coming, they had intention. They were not coming for the people. They had their own agenda and intention. But the fool people say, oh, for the masses. They see rhetorics. Oh, we for the masses. We coming to free our people. But they had their own hidden agenda. And people that are smart, we know people with hidden agenda. Henry Costa should be executed. I say clean, clear, plain, blank, keep the video here. If I were in Liberia, my target would be to kill Henry Costa, because I would do it, because if I kill him, the risk in Liberia will minimize. In Liberia is politics. Politics don't make someone to rise, because when they rise, it becomes problem. That's why you have to in every country they suppress people. The government, I blame Mangel. Mangel should know well. This man was CDC. That man was in jail. The sedition fought for this man and get him out of jail. During the election, they men turn against y'all. They men insulted George Weah. He insulted sedition. He insulted everybody. Then they see Mangel man. The president went distant from the man because they see friendship. They see friendship benefit. You see, their government here, that the mistake the government making. They see friendship benefit, the government. Mangel went and begged the president, say, oh, president, you know, Costa are picking. You know, as a security man, Mangelians don't know threat. They don't sense a threat. They don't read threat. If I were in Liberia, my target is to kill Costa. If I tell you straight up on the camera, if I were in Liberia, my target, if the government cannot kill Costa, I will kill him. I tell you straight up, my target will be to kill Costa, because if I kill him, I will minimize, I will save so many lives, because He's becoming a problem in the country, so he need to be killed. That's how you save people's life. I'm telling you today. You see, the same mistake we make with child.
There you have it. There you have it. That's Class D. Class D is Liberian. He has his own podcast. And his message, I have listened to him numerous of times. It seems to me, I am not aware, I do not have any empirical evidence to authenticate, to show whatever he's doing is the approvals of the government of Liberia. But for the most part, to be honest, his talking point is to prove government agenda. Is there any empirical or scientific evidence, as he alluded, suggesting that has Samuel Doe killed Helen Johnson Sirleaf, issue it would have been to the end of the turmoil that we are going through today, or even if Samuel Doe did that, will he come back here today like what he's saying and to be proud to say what we are saying? So these are the kind of conspiracy that is being thrown out there. Is the government? I'm not sure. But that most likely seems to be the case, whether they are walking into this darkness of this sort of conspiracy, or people who feel that they are so loyal to the government that they support, or the government that they strongly believe in. Well, I have a different version of it. I think when you are already in holding state power, you must be more or less be a good listener and be able to call out your government and be cautious and be honest with your government when it is done wrongly. And even if they do it rightly, we can also give them the kudos. That's not everything about the CDC government could seem to be bad, but for the individual to come that if he was in Liberia, his primary objective was to kill a person who has a dissenting view about the government or a political talk show. I do not agree with Costa 100% for the most part, some of the things that he expressed and some of the things that he authored, but does that give anybody the right to make such a proclamation that he needs to die? If he died, then everything going to be quiet? These are the falsehood and these are the conspiracy that has been thrown out there. And he has injected the Minister of State for President to short affair. Is that what Nathaniel McGee told him? I'm not sure. So if these folks who seems to be these loyalists of the government are talking what they are talking and hearing what you are hearing, then it's a hair-scratching issue. That's not all to A. I want you to listen to this one again. That's not what I'm aware of. The Associations of Liberian Journalists in America, AJA, is a professional institutions like the PUL that have partnership. Me, as a local president, not that I'm aware. But listen to this guy again. He happens to be one of the strong advocates of the CDC-led government. That's the conspiracy within the talk show host or the media and between the government and the ordinary citizen. As the result, you, the ordinary citizen, you become more or less confused. Or because we are so much desperate in need of information and not knowing what to process and obtain our information, it has created problems within our society. And like a perfectly pointed out, I found the conspiracy theory of the video here in the Western world is everywhere. But how can we fix this? Or why people should talk without having an empirical evidence, without presenting facts to what they are saying? Those sort of soundbites are dangerous and it's not good for the country. I am Alfonso Ziansot. I will be right back.
How you doing wherever you find yourself? You are welcome on the Palava Hall. My own brother, Amadou Dakabe, I salute your presence. Eva Clara Gray, you are welcome. Mohammed Selibe, how are you, brother Selibe? You are highly welcome. Winston Logan, thank you so much for joining us. Musa M. Kane, the Secretary General of the Press Union of Liberia. I want to say you are highly welcome. Joyce Yulu, how are you, says Joyce? You are welcome. Asatu Kamara, how are you, says Asatu? Alvina Sam Mongo, how are you, says Mongo? Priscilla Ka, how are you, says Priscilla? I hope you are doing fine.
Love you so much and thank you for everything. Solo Brown, I welcome you. Brother Solo Brown. Smooth Rich, how are you? I want to welcome Smooth Rich. Smooth Rich, you are highly welcome. Thank you for joining us here. Let's welcome Joyce. Joyce UJ. How are you, sir, Joyce? Love you so much. Thank you for everything. Mabendu, you are highly welcome. Asa Henry, Moses, Ambassador James B. Tor, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your presence. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for your presence here. Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's welcome some of our people. Mohammed Soare, you are highly welcome. Brother Mohammed Soare, thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to say thank you so much for joining us. Betty's there. Thank you so much. Comfort Cooper. I want to say thank you so much for your presence here. I want to welcome a few of our people as we get ready to give you the information. As we get ready to give you the information. Cannot afford to sit and keep quiet and allow things to degenerate into chaos before we come up. There is this saying people always say. They say prevention is better than cure. And that's the fact. Prevention is definitely better than cure. It is good that you prevent it. Because if you don't prevent it and you allow it to come at your doorstep and for you to be the victim, the time, the pain, and the energy that is going to take you and the resources to be able to recover is a lot. If you and I were in the know, we're not going to allow the war to come in Liberia. We're going to prevent it. But because we thought that it was a play, when they announced that, oh, the rebels were coming, many of us thought that it was a joke. Many of us thought that, you know, the rebel was like one of these movies that we watch where you see Rambo will shoot and you see 25 person laying down. Many of us thought that the war that was coming, it was only for President Samuel Kayondro and his government officials. Many of us thought that when the people were coming, we called them rebel. All we felt in our mind, the rebels were coming so as to kill the people who were in government, then right away you and I started to enjoy. All of us thought that when the rebel was going to enter Liberia, they were going to make all of us to enjoy life. Because in our mind, our limited idea, we felt that the suffering of the Liberian people was wholly and solely tied to President Samuel Kayondro the late and his officials. Little did we know that when they came to Liberia, it was not only about government officials. The more than 250,000 persons that died, both women, children, the elderly, etc. Some of them, they knew nothing about government. But here we are today, mourning our loved ones. Some died of stray bullet and etc. Now, what am I saying all of these? I'm saying this to mean that those of us that have the opportunity to be away from Liberia and we find ourselves in the Western world, technology is at our advantage. We have the opportunity to technology. So we must use technology to our advantage in a positive manner. I know there are other people who are going to use it in a negative manner, but those of us who have decided and have taken an oath and a vow that our presence in the white man world will be to serve our nation, we will not rest and we will use it positively. Fellow Liberian, I want to inform you. I received a call, and I want to say this is an allegation. I received a call It was yesterday. I received this call yesterday. This person called me and say, hello, is this Prince? I say, yes, I'm Prince. And they introduced themselves. I am so and so and so. I say, okay, that's good. How can I help you? He said, I have an information that I want to give you. But please, I want you to do me a favor. I said, what is that? He said, I do not want you to record my voice and play it on your podcast. I don't want you to do that. All I want you to do is to inform the people. But I don't want you to call my name. I trust you. I respect you. I believe in you. To some extent, I have seen a high level of responsible attitude in you. That's why I am calling you with my number directly, and I'm calling my name. I should have called and used any other name or use any other number. But this is my number and this is my name. But I don't want you to call my name, and I don't want you to play this particular conversation or this information that I'm about to give you. If you want, you can treat it as an allegation, like I said from the beginning. But this is the information. This person called me and said, Prince, the Press Union of the Republic of Liberia, under the stewardship of Mr. Coffey, had a meeting, an online meeting, with some members of the Association of the Liberian Journalists in the Americas, AJA. They had a meeting. And according to the person, he told me that the meeting was held on the 3rd of this month, March, on the 3rd of March. And in that particular online meeting, there were 4 cardinal things on the agenda. There were 4 cardinal things on the agenda. The first thing on the agenda that he told me was how AJA, that is the Association of the Liberian Journalists in the Americas, and the Press Union of Liberia can have a big event. And that big event basically will be held here in the United States, where members of the Press Union of Liberia will also be invited. They discussed that. He also said the second issue on the agenda was about the dissemination of information by the Association of the Liberian Journalists in the Diaspora. How can they be able to, propagate or have a kind of a platform, a unique platform, a platform that will be wholly and solely controlled by the Association of the Liberian Journalists in the Americas? How they can have a platform, if it is a radio station or whatever it is, to be able to disseminate information, because they have observed that the Press Union of Liberia, or some members of the Press Union of Liberia, they are giving some sensitive information. And here in the United States, sometimes they don't have, in fact, they don't have a kind of organized platform that they will come and be able to buttress these informations. So it is important that they have, a medium, or they have a platform that will be wholly and solely controlled by the Association of Liberian Journalists in the United States of America, or in Americas. The third issue was about the alleged frequent muzzling of the press in Liberia. And actually, the last issue, which was the fourth thing on the agenda, according to the information, came as a result of the third issue. And that is, they decided in the March, thank God that the Secretary General, I don't know what the Secretary General in that meeting, I don't know. My source didn't tell me. But the secretary is here. Musa Kane, he is here. And he said on March the 3rd, the third issue was, the alleged muzzling of journalists, etc., etc. And upon that, the fourth issue was an awareness. Actually, it was an awareness of the media, both here in the United States and that of in Liberia, against the alleged brutality of some members. And in that discussion, while they were discussing, I just suggested whoever that was on the line that was representing AJA, or the people from AJA, that is the Association of the Liberian Journalists in the United States. They said, because first what they decided to do was to have a conference, where journalists from here or members of AJA will be able to go to Liberia and have another conference with especially the executive, to have a conference where they will express their dissatisfaction and give almost like what we refer to as a recommendation to the government relative to how they can work together. Somebody in the meeting from AJAS refused and said no. What they need to do is to carry on a peaceful sit-in. And according to my information, as the discussion was going on, the people of the United States, or the journalists here, AJAS, they suggested that no, let us have a protest on the 3rd of March. Let us have a protest. And that protest will be able to awaken, or will be able to call the government attention. It will also be able to give a negative picture to the outside world relative to how journalists are allegedly being treated in Liberia. So the person from Liberia said it was too harsh. It was too harsh for a journalist, or for the umbrella organization that is the voice of the people to engage into what we refer to as a protest. They think that they can call for an emergency section with the executive and other branches of government to discuss. So AJA insisted no. So in the meeting, while they were having a meeting, the group there from Liberia said having a protest or a sit-in or whatever is a good thing. But it requires funding, money. It requires funding. And the Press Union of Liberia, as a mother organization, is not in the financial position to be able to sponsor such a thing. Though they want it, but they are not in the position because it requires money. So the Association of the Liberian Journalists in the United States decided that they will give the amount of $2,000. $2,000 towards the process. $2,000 towards the process. 2,000 United States dollars towards the process. And basically that money will be used for, for the pre and the post event. Because according to my source in that particular meeting, what they want to do is that immediately after that particular protest, which will be on Thursday, tomorrow, that all of the media institution, at least you have small thing, they won't give them small thing, so that they can carry, at least for 1 month, all of them can carry an information that will be very, very negative against the government, that they believe will call the government attention. Listen to me. The $2,000 will be used for communication, etc. That is for the pre and the post protest. And after that, media institution, at least they will give media, because they are all colleagues now, but they will give them small thing, the print media, the electronic media, and etc. At least so that 1 month, these media institutions in Liberia can carry stories that will be very, very harsh on the government. Negative story, in other words. Negative story. Let me just put it this way. Negative story. So the amount of 2,000.
encourage my people to come every year from America, within bypass, and have some of the common road, fencing, everything in general. And doing school is through that bypass. So I encourage them that they please include salary in the graduate school.
Thank you very much for what they are doing for our students. It is the first of a kind we are seeing send the school bank service for somebody to come waiting there and do something like this for the school.
Okay. All right. So let's open the lines to have the discussion there. There you have it. I want to welcome all of our good friends, and this is the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. That's a non-for-profit organization that is Sunrise. Sunrise Liberia is right here based in the Ocean State of Rhode Island. They're going to be having a major fundraiser dinner banquet, I believe, on the 21st of March, right here at Marriott Hotel in the Ocean State. They have been providing services to orphanage, home, schools, giving backpacks to schools and students back home. They're going to be having their annual fundraiser dinner banquet here on the 21st of March. I believe next week Saturday. Mrs. Howard, the president of the University Student Unions in the Americas, Mr. Melvin Datu Howard, wife is the CEO and founder of Sunrise. So if you are within the proximity of Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New York, New Hampshire, Connecticut, even it doesn't matter how far you are. I'm going to be hosting it here very shortly. You can make your goodwill donation. They are doing an extraordinary job inside Liberia, and St. Teresa's Convent and St. Patrick's will also be in Atlanta, Georgia. Next Thursday, I'm going to be having the president and that of D12 will be right on this program. Okay, let's come to the discussion. And there you have it. The phone number is out there. We always allow you to participate. We talk, we don't just talk and walk away. Believe me, you will never be cut off once you follow our policy, our guidelines, no insult. But I argue your point you partially feel good about. Well, that was Prince Sharif. This is the kind of conspiracy that is being put out there, and that seems believable to the people because they are carefully worded, they are carefully calculated. Even though you get a source, they're scratching your head, and they're going to raise $2,000, and every media going to take anything. Why it is true, there's annual traditions of the Associations of Liberian Journalists, which of course I'm part of. They always have their annual conventions, and media personnel from inside Liberia always yet and go by. The function is always attended by senior government officials, including our own friend and brother, who is now the presidential press secretary. The last time we were in Minnesota, he was there and he spoke at the occasion. So where is this all coming from? Creating unnecessary tension. If I know that somebody is about to have something implanted or dangerous actions against the government of the Republic of Liberia and the citizenry, I would disclose that source. I would point it out. But to find himself strugglings and rumblings to mend his words carefully, to sound good, to sound perfect, to sound more convincing to other folks who are so much in desperations of getting news, that's sad. If I was talking for the government or the opposition, my focus would be on the positive aspect. What I think I'm going to persuade people and bring people over to the government or to the opposition, or be able to articulate the core values or message of the government or be it the opposition. But to devote the 100% time on negativity or they undo, it just doesn't make sense. We cannot build Liberia like this. We know people have their own commitment to their political party or institutions. The number is there. We want you to get your take as what your opinions and view expressed on this network is your view, not the management and staff of the Liberia Public Radio, but we do help to facilitate these national conversation. But it is our responsibility, all of us as citizens, we do have shared responsibility to make sure the right thing is done. So even if you are oppositions and if they are not doing it the right way, we must say it. If you look at the report, the human rights report about Liberia, some of you don't look out for information. You expect information because people are lazy. Say to go to a podcast. If you listen to what his name, Francis Doe, on the other side for the opposition, it's the same thing. They are doing the same thing. The opposition, the government, they are doing the government supporters, they are doing the same thing. So it leaves Liberians in a very volatile situation, not knowing where to go to get the information that is sensitive, that is concrete, that will be rewarding to the citizenry. And we here at Liberia Public Radio, this is a very different network. Being a network that is fully registered with the state, fully accredited by the federal, and fully registered in Liberia and licensed to operate. We are very, very much cognizant of the fact that news sharing, information disseminations is very vital. And we must be able to get 2, 3, 4 sources and be able to give news that is very much authentic, genuine, in order for our people to be a direct beneficiary. But unfortunately, that seems not to be the case. Politics has been politicians has infiltrated the media industry as well. So there are a variety of factors and components that are responsible to see what is unfolding today. But for people to sit on the outlet where people are listening to you, to just out of a blue sky and make up and try to manufacture something that you do not even have facts of proof about, that you can't even fully articulate to sound believable, is so ridiculous, and that this is something that we need to stop. And if these people are doing it out of their own volitions because of the love of the party, I think the government must kick in to also stop them. There can be a way that they can fine-tune government message. There can be a way where they can promote government pro-poor agenda. From the onset, that's what we've been hearing of this administration, have the pro-poor agenda. Where is that menued where they should be able to go and explain some of the policies, some of the good things that the government is doing? But for the most part, the focus either to George, we are having what about $12,000 shoes? I don't know who was standing there, who was doing it. Does that really matter? Is that something that the Liberian people, do you think they really want to listen to? I don't want to listen to that. Because, as far as I'm concerned, it's not beneficial to me. It's not rewarding. It's not news making. I want to know how many jobs will be created at the end of the month, or how many businesses that are coming in the country that no one is talking about to talk about it. I want to know how many work that is ongoing in the country that no one is not talking about. But this is what we want to talk about, and that's what set us apart as a different group, a different institution. We here at LPR, we help in contributing to the economic growth of our country and our involvement. And this is why we just do not sit in like Morovia. We go other places beyond to Morovia to see what is happening. And everything we talk, we more or less we try to be here to show the evidence. There you see it is our local station manager, Mr. Mike Downs, in urban Liberia, Grand Cayman County and Grand Cayman Sierra Leone border, is on a mission that teaching, helping local dwellers how to manage their limited resources that they have. He's on a tour. We need to get out of the capital. We need to go out there where there's a news that people really need to know. I have the phone number is here. If you think maybe the press union or the government or whoever that is going over the edge, you can call the number 682-433-8802, and we can have an honest discussion about your take. Like I said, your opinions, your view. You'll be given the opportunity to express your views and your opinions on this network, except that it is not the views and opinions of the management and staff of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. But we do help to facilitate this sort of conversation until the politicians in Liberia can be a little bit restructured, and those who tend to be the mouthpiece of this institution, they can also fine-tune their message. And like I said, the human rights reports, if you go on the State Department website regarding to Liberia, it's just not good. So it's not a matter of being against the government. What is happening? The government state security forces has admitted of doing wrong things. So if that is the case, there must be some sort of they must reprimand these people that are responsible. There are some bad apples, and not every government officials are bad, but there are folks within the system that are polluted in the system, that are causing problems within the system. And if these people continuously to be harbored within that system, it gives the government bad reflection. The images from Liberia this morning is not good for the country that is economically is not strong. We have a pandemic that is now globally has engulfed the entire world. That should be our focus. How government can make up the resources and take some preventive measures to create an educational program. And I will reach out with the National Health Institute, and they responded, and we are hoping to have the director here. Our correspondent, Gatel Daniel from Nimba County, we'll talk to him yesterday, and we're very much impressed that there's some sort of health care awareness is ongoing. The government is creating some sort of awareness to the border despite of the limited resources. Those are things we want to talk about. Those are things, if I'm talking for the government, those are information you want to go after to get out there to the public. Not to distract or confuse your listening audience. But when we have these things where other people that are doing their job, people from the media, are brutalized, it becomes a problem. If international community, the friendless government, because all of these things, don't get me wrong, it happens in the West. But anything that comes out of Africa, they see it to be most dangerous and most life-threatening. What do you think businesses or people that want to invest and say there's no freedom of speech? The media has been muscled. The media has been aggressively pursued by national governments. Media personnel have been brutalized and all of that. It creates insecurity, instability for the country. And that's the holistic approach part we are looking at, not necessarily the president. And we can also hold the media industry responsible if they are not doing it the right way. There are some things that they have done in the past. We have talked about as well. But you, as a security personnel, you took oath to protect and defend the nation. And part of those people you're going to defend is the media. And remember, the president signed off on the Abdullah A. Kamara, the former president of the press union, may his soul rest in peace. Freedom of speech act. The president signed on over. We are not saying, in as much as a freedom of speech, the media or media personnel should also infringe. No. But I think police and security apparatus should be the last defense. The last resort must be, that should be the last resort. They shouldn't see that as the first. You here, I don't care how policemen pull you over here, you will talk to them, you will do anything. They can easily just put hand on people. Even though they do that, it happens, they kill, they do all sort of stuff. Yeah, we have seen it. But when that happens, it just becomes only condemnation. We saw the government admitted to Zina Melo. Even our own Kennedy Kolo from River says, who was a local station manager. And he has become a pattern consistently over and over and over. And we intend to speak with the press unions of the Republic of Liberia as well in terms of their working relationship with national government. If government is aggressively pursuing that as well. Because I'm quite sure to reach to the point that it got to today, it means all other negotiations or conversations did not just materialize, perhaps compel them to do that. We just do not want to make that sort of guess game here. But bottom line is not good for our country. And this is something we all must take heed to. This is no win game. The government has a lot to lose. And when the government is victim of national cause, the consequences, the citizen becomes the victim as well. We're talking about the Rapperfield International Highway that's about to be. We need more discussion. We need to have a conversations about it. We're talking about the senatorial race ahead, couple of months. That's very much consequential. We all complain that the folks in the lawmakers, they are not honest. So what are we doing? Who are those are we vetting right now? And are we going to be distracted from those things ahead of us to be focusing on other things? I think this is unfair, and I think the government must be able to take those officers who are not who are doing these things to tarnish the government representations or whatever it is. The government needs to take a strong actions against those people, because whatever they are doing, they are not serving the good of the country. And this is why for us on this network, we create a variety of conversations for the interest and for the growth of our country, to showcase the beauty, the quality. But in as much we're going to be doing that, we will not be deterred to also point out those ills that are causing problem for us. I'm Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio. I'm going to be back this evening by 6 p.m. with Professor Joel. We'll be looking at some of these methods. This evening, we'll be talking about maternity health. As you know, is one of the crucial things worldwide as well, from the WHO, and she's going to dwell on the latest update on the coronavirus. And like I told you, the health minister of UK is already infected. So this is very, very serious. We must be able to create an awareness for our people in Liberia, urban Liberia, and even right here, must be able to follow those necessary universal precaution. This is a very serious problem. There's no tangible vaccine now being invented. Yesterday, it was reported in Ivory Coast that a Belgian national flew into La Côte d'Ivoire. It's the first case. Côte d'Ivoire, Liberia, next door neighbor. There's always trading in and out. If you see how struggling the country, modern society, Italy is locked down completely. So we have bigger, really trouble things that we should worry about than all of these things that we are talking. And the government needs to take the lead to avoid all of these unnecessary confrontations that would tend to distract ourselves from the agenda that they should be getting out there. They're supposed to coordinate with the media to create a public health awareness for our people. I'm happy that the WHO and other international organizations listening to Smith-Toby a couple of days Tuesday presidential press briefings, 20 million. That's it. But whether the money is there, whether the logistics are there, and that's why we try to reach out with the Health Institute, Public Health Institute of Liberia, because the proactive aspect of it is to have structure or place somewhere in place. To be proactive, to get ahead of the game, not to wait until there's an incident and then you try to go find a facility to take these people. So there are a lot of problem things that we need. All of us need to. This very again nothing is nothing about opposition, CDC or Liberty Party or whoever. No, it doesn't pay. It will never pay. You can be who. Ted Cruz, who's a senator, there's a self-quarantine because a possibility he or she feels that he's been infected. So it's nothing about oppositions and not opposition. So I'll be back here this evening. Dev Tour here. Let me see here. This is a news outlet coming here. Let me just give you this quickly news outlet here that is coming here from the Associated Press. The Associated Press, that's the AP, a major cable wired news outlet. The death believe reached 2,000. So travel ban, chaos, this is reactions to virus spread. So this is getting more serious, more than what we thought it to be, and this is something we all must be very, very frightened about, because we can't continue to have this. And that's why we're going to be having Professor Joy here this evening. Let me take a quick commercial commitment and I'll be right back.
Hello, how you doing? This is Uncle Musa, the owner of Uncle Musa Grocery in Philadelphia. The first store is Uncle Musa Grocery, Philadelphia, 6523 Wallen Avenue. And Uncle Musa Urban Faction, 6519 Wallen Avenue. And Uncle Musa Grocery, 804 Gary Road, Upper Darby, Philadelphia. We carry all African products, food, clothing, mostly Liberian food. If you need anything from Liberia, just call Uncle Musa Grocery. You can go to Google. If you say Uncle Musa Grocery, Google will take you ahead to show you where to get us. So whatever you need from Liberia, if you go to any Uncle Musa Grocery, we will make sure you get what you want. And if you want to send rice to Liberia, we will send rice to Liberia and deliver to your family. They don't need to pick it up. And if you decide for them to pick up to our store in Morovia too, we have a store in Cow Factory. You can pick it up there, but mostly we deliver rice to your family member, and we send money to Liberia. All over the world, we send money. So welcome to Uncle Musa Grocery anytime. I will make sure all my workers and myself will have a very good customer service. You will be taken care of the way you want it. And we'll have a clothes from Dubai, India and China. We carry all that. We carry lappers, very good lappers. Quality one from Holland. Whatever you want from Uncle Musa Grocery or Uncle Musa Home Infection,
yes,
you can get it.
This is Uncle Musa and Grocery Enterprise here. And I mean, it's well equipped with a lot of goods, African goods, anything you want, especially many supplies that we have for our programs in the church community. We've been having a lot of programs, especially community gathering, fundraising program. We get all our goods here, anything we want. So the
Masquerade Ball. Day 2, annual business meeting and evening of elegance with special guest performance by D12. Day 3, family day and fundraiser, culminating with the all pink and white jazz night. So tell a frisky, tell a friend, tell a saint. For more information, visit us at www.stcspHS.com or call 404-317-7122 or 404-593-8961. See you there. Calling all saints and friskies, we're shutting down the ATL on Memorial Day weekend with 3 days of activities for the whole family. Day 1, the Masquerade Ball. Day 2, annual business meeting and evening of elegance with special guest performance by D12. Day 3, family day and fundraiser, culminating with the all pink and white jazz night. So tell a frisky, tell a friend, tell a saint. For more information, visit us at www.stcspHS.com or call 404-317-7122 or 404-593-8961. See you there. Calling all saints and friskies, we're shutting down the ATL on Memorial Day weekend with 3 days of activities for the whole family. Day 1, the Masquerade Ball.
There's a quick commercial there. It's St. Patrick's and St. Teresa's Convent. They're going to be having their function. So that is in Lawrenceville, Atlanta, Georgia. The dates are all right there. So just make sure if you are within Atlanta, you are in Georgia, if you're a former student, graduate, or alumni, at St. Patrick's, we're going to be hosting them here next Thursday here on this network. We're understanding they are engaged in that unbelievable work of $300,000. Rebuilding of St. Patrick's High School, if you know that, right on Capitol Hill, within the proximity to right on the annex of the University of Liberia, and down the aisle there, that's the Moravian City Corporation. St. Patrick students and St. Teresa's Convent, they are building a new structure, according to what we have been informed, $300,000, and that's the fundraiser for which Detour and legendary artists will be there to help to expedite this process as well. And if you having a function, a convention, a reunion, whatever, let us know here. We have the capacity to showcase you. And this is why we make our network so inclusive of everybody. It doesn't matter who you stand for, where you're from, or who you are. They are Liberian doing an extraordinary job. Businesses, young entrepreneurs, and involved in multitudes of roles. We have to give everybody the opportunity. Well, you're talking about the coronavirus. Here, there's a news alert before we wrap up here this afternoon. CNN is reporting that Brazilian president press secretary test positive for coronavirus days after meeting with the president of the United States of America. So this is just it's just unbelievable. It's stressing. You listen to the president nation address yesterday. As of tomorrow, 12 midnight, no flight will be coming from Europe as a whole. So that's how serious it is. So this is something that we shouldn't take lightly. We should do everything possible we can. And I'm hoping that the director of Public Health Institute of the Republic of Liberia, we messaged and responded to our email. Will make time for us to just have a conversation with them to create a conversation and just double checking the preparation the government of Liberia is making in terms of just any eventuality outbreak of such a deadly virus. And by us talking about it, it will also serve then a reminder, and we just want to make sure everything is okay. That's our own obligations of giving back to the community. And I just been told the citizens, the Bongese in the U.S. is citizens of Bong County. They're going to be having a fundraiser, and we have to facilitate that. You remember the Phoebe Hospital? It's been in crisis for a little while now. A prominent citizens of Bong County, Mr. Amos George, and the leadership, they reached out to us to help, and we have the history of doing that, and that's what we should be doing. We must also be to making meaningful contributions to our alma mater, to our towns, our villages, our cities. It's not only government alone. If you're a citizen of Bond County, Maryland, Sinai, Grand Jita like myself, you must be able to give something tangible to the county. If the government can't reach there, you do it. That it gives you the courage to even critique the government, because that's the responsibility of the government. The government is not doing that, you do it. Then it gives you voice. Your people are going to listen to you. But when we sit and complain and nothing is done, and we just frown on those people while they are voting X and Y president for power, and we are not willing to intercede to even erect a hand palm, then our talking will be in vain. They will not listen to us. Because the politics inside Liberia or globally now is being financially controlled. So anybody, whether the person is doing it the right way, but anybody who's going to give them sort of financial empowerment, that's the person they're going to give state power. Because that's the person that have putting food on the table for them. That's the person is their bread basket. But we in the diaspora from various counties, towns, and villages, different places, if we decided, if we begin to make some meaningful investments or contributions or create some sort of impact on the lives of our people, believe me, they will listen to us. But if we can, we'll talk and talk and talk. It will be like wasting water on dog back. And I don't think that's something we want to do. So we need to do everything possible we can, all of us as citizens, to contribute to the economic growth of the country, and to make sure, and whatever we are doing is right. Because in order for our voices to be heard, in order for people to listen to us, we must be able to do what is right. Well, folks, I will be back here this afternoon. Time check now is 2:14 Eastern Standard Time. I will be here this evening by 6 p.m., 6:30 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Professor Joel into this editions of Health Talk. We want to make sure to become more informative, more engaging, to talk other issues or other things that are also part of today's happening or today's war, that will impact you and make a difference. And this is how in conclusion, how I want to be conclusive in everything that we try to do here, not just only dwell on the politics aspect, but also be able to provide basic information that we will need. I was still working on our folks to be bringing some real live broadcasts from inside Liberia. I want to thank you so much for training down to our own Batin Tino, our national correspondent in Central Liberia, Bong County, doing an extraordinary job making sure to getting after the information, making it proportionate, not disproportionate, getting both sides of the story. Batin, thank you so much for your services, and we are doing everything possible we can. And you have brought this story, your article about Phoebe, given that we reached out to the director. We are still waiting to hear. And guess what, Batin? Your story has bear fruit. Just yesterday, I'm calling some prominent citizens of Bond County in the U.S. call us, and they are now contemplating, they are considering having a fundraiser to help arrest the few situations at Phoebe Hospital. in Bond County. So whatever you're doing, Bettina, I want to say it's not in vain. Your message, your article, the news search you are going for, putting it out there is resonating, and that's why we want to challenge people. We anticipating to have 15 correspondents in all of the 15 political subdivisions in Liberia. Monrovia is just minute; it's just the political seat of the country. But there are some things, good, bad, or things that people really, really need to know about outside of Monrovia. And we have to do everything possible to Kent to bring that information. The station manager, we are not the folks that sit down behind the desk. He's now in Grand Cape Mount County to the border with Sierra Leone, helping teaching to small businesses people how to go and manage. That's what we need to do. We need to get out of our comfort zone and go out there to be a blessing, and that's sort of the investment Liberia Popular Radio intend to make. Well, folks, is 10 to 17 Eastern Standard Time. The old man on the walk, time has caught up with me, Mr. Emmanuel Boat, our man, that one of our regular contributors, not just only contributor, donant to this network. He always involved in whatever thing that we want to do. Somebody asking why you can't do cash. No, of course we do it very suddenly. But I told my folks, we are not going to have like this sort of Federation of Cash App Association. No, we will do it at a certain time. And this is why we also prioritize to help raise funds for other people so that it will be used. There will be a time that we will come to you. But I told my folks, you who wants it, you got to go for it. You got to maybe get half of it. And there will come a time that we will need it. We are making massive preparations to be well footed in Liberia. Internet services is now much improved. We just ship some consignment materials for our folks once they start. And we transitioned, and we are making headway. When we call people to help us, we want to tell you this is what we have so you can help us. I don't want to be like my man who's getting married and you not even get your own ring and he's going to pay for it. How the hell you want to get married? No, that's not who we are. We want to ask for a legitimate cause. And that when you give to us, it will manifest itself. You will see it for yourself, the work of it. And this is why these great guys in Liberia, the Bertin, the Daniel, even the Mike and all of the other folks, voluntarily, they don't hesitate. This guy has toured almost Bond County, news coming from there on a daily basis. With one correspondent from Sino, from River G, from Maryland, from Lofa. Yeah, we do have somebody from, but I mean people that are committed. Because why? We feel news should be served proportionally. Everybody should get access to news information. I want to thank you so much. I'm going to be back here this evening. This time is Health Talk with Professor Joel. You know what is ongoing, so we're going to be giving you some of the tips. So like I said, we're going to make this network to be what it should be like. And so sometimes I know there can be a disappointment for those of you who come to follow us. You want to either hear or cussing the president. No, that's not who we are. It is not in our DNA. You want to come and hear us cussing the opposition? No, it doesn't look like us. It doesn't represent us. We are Liberia Public Radio, and we must see ourselves as a pride for the country. Does that mean we are 100% perfect? No, we are human beings, but we try as much as possible to create authentic discussion. And this is why we allow everyone to participate in our conversation. So sometimes I know it's disappointing. I'm going out there today. This is why I'm going to yes. No, we normally tell you things that you need to know. If the government does it right, we say it. When the opposition does it right, we say it. If they go over the top, we say it. We just do not only say it, but we also make recommendation as well. So it's that's how it looks like and how it's supposed to be. And we want to keep it that way. Nothing going to change. Disciplined tolerance is the core value of this network. By the way, go to our YouTube channel, go to YouTube search engine, type in Liberia Public Radio, and there's a simultaneous broadcast both via Facebook and that via the YouTube. So you can go to YouTube and you can watch live video as we are even on right now. You go to your Facebook, and that's it. We are still working on technical aspect where the YouTube link will be embedded on the official website of the Liberia Public Radio. So for news and information, just go to www.liberiapublicradio.com and you'll be able to hear some news. We go all up, not just on the Morovia, all over the place and get the places and get the news is supposed to get. That's why the folks are there. Well, folks, time has caught up with me yet. I want to thank you so much for sharing your beautiful, beautiful Wednesday afternoon with us. But again, join me this evening with Professor Joet for today's editions of Health Talk. And as usual, the second segment will be All Things Considered. Until then, I'm Afonso Z and Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Have a pleasant day. And God bless Liberia. Thank you so much. Please let us keep our nation in prayer from this deadly pandemic, the coronavirus that is sweeping across the globe. Have a pleasant day. Bye-bye.
Salut à toi, Meta ou de Pigoumé. C'est Jean Caï. Voilà le morceau. You do. Yeah, petit bailli, l'enfant de petit Jokwe. Toujours choco. Merci, papa. L'arrangeur ne sort pour sous, très trop fort. Mano boyo, boyo, boy. Maya, mano boyo, boyo, boy. Mano boyo.
In December 2019, there was a cluster of pneumonia cases in China. Investigations found that it was caused by a previously unknown virus, now named the 2019 novel coronavirus. In this video, we'll take a quick look at what's currently known about the virus. Keep in mind that this is a new virus, and what's known about the virus now might change in the future. Coronaviruses are a large group of viruses. They consist of a core of genetic material surrounded by an envelope with protein spikes. This gives it the appearance of a crown. Crown in Latin is called corona, and that's how these viruses get their name. There are different types of coronaviruses that cause respiratory and sometimes gastrointestinal symptoms. Respiratory disease can range from the common cold to pneumonia, and in most people, the symptoms tend to be mild. However, there are some types of coronaviruses that can cause severe disease. These include the severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus, first identified in China in 2003, and the Middle East respiratory syndrome coronavirus that was first identified in Saudi Arabia in 2012. The 2019 novel coronavirus was first identified in China. It initially occurred in a group of people with pneumonia who'd been associated with a seafood and live animal market in the city of Wuhan. The disease has since spread from those who were sick to others, including family members and healthcare staff. There are many cases at present, and the disease has spread within China and also to a number of other countries. So, where did the virus come from? It's known that coronaviruses circulate in a range of animals. Sometimes these viruses can make the jump from animals to humans. This is called a spillover and could be due to a range of factors such as mutations in the virus or increased contact between humans and animals. For example, MERS-CoV is known to be transmitted from camels and SARS-CoV from civet cats. The animal reservoir of the 2019 novel coronavirus is not known yet. How is it transmitted? The exact dynamics of how the virus is transmitted is yet to be determined. In general, respiratory viruses are usually transmitted through droplets created when an infected person coughs or sneezes, or through something that has been contaminated with the virus. People most at risk of infection from the novel coronavirus are those in close contact with animals, such as live animal market workers, and those who are caring for people infected with the virus, such as family members or healthcare workers. So, how does the disease present? Well, from what is known so far, there can be a number of symptoms ranging from mild to severe. There can be fever and respiratory symptoms such as cough and shortness of breath. In more severe cases, there's been pneumonia, kidney failure, and death. The mortality rate is not known yet. How can we tell whether someone is infected? The infection can be diagnosed by a test called PCR, or polymerase chain reaction. This test identifies the virus based on its genetic fingerprint. There's currently no specific medication for the virus, and treatment is supportive care. There's currently no vaccine to protect against the virus. Treatment and vaccines are in development. How do we prevent transmission of the virus? This new virus currently has a limited geographic spread. However, there are a number of standard hygiene practices that have been recommended to protect against infection and further spread. These include covering your mouth and nose when coughing or sneezing with a medical mask, tissue, or flexed elbow, avoiding close contact with those who are unwell, the appropriate use of masks and personal protective equipment, especially in a healthcare setting, washing hands regularly with soap and water or alcohol-based hand rub. Actions that can be taken to prevent infection from an animal source include avoiding unnecessary unprotected contact with animals, washing hands after contact with animals or animal products, and ensuring that animal products are cooked thoroughly before they're consumed. It's important to stay home if you're feeling unwell, but if you have a fever, cough, and difficulty breathing, seek medical care early and share your previous travel history with your healthcare provider. That's a quick look at this emerging infectious disease. Given that this outbreak is evolving rapidly, what's known about this virus can change. Please check the websites below for the most up-to-date information. In December 2019,
welcome to Displore and thanks for watching. In this video, we shall be taking a look at the top 10 most educated African presidents. The leaders of nations play a great role in deciding the future of the nation. A nation can progress only through decisions of smart and educated leaders. Many nations fail because they have leaders with less knowledge and intellect to make the right decisions for their country. Intelligence and education, as we all know, are indispensable components of good leadership. According to Plato, one of the ancient philosophers, it is believed that a learned leader stands a better chance of doing well more than his uneducated counterpart. Although African countries are rated as underdeveloped countries with sometimes less than general average literacy level, we see a lot of the most highly educated leaders coming from Africa. Over the years, Africa has had some of the most educated presidents in the world, and here are the current ones. Before we dive into the countdown, if you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. Here are the top 10 most educated African presidents in 2019. Number 10. Paul Biya, President of Cameroon. Paul Biya is the second president of the Republic of Cameroon, having resumed office since 1982. And for more than 36 years he has been at the helm of the country. He was born in Vomeka, a small village in the south region of Cameroon. He studied at Lycée Général Leclerc in Yaoundé, where he obtained a baccalaureate, and in France at Lycée Louis le Grand in Paris, going on to Institut des Hautes Études d'Outre-mer, where he graduated in 1961 with a higher education diploma in public law. He's currently one of the most educated presidents in Africa, as well as the second longest serving president on the continent. Number 9. George Carlos Fonseca, President of Cape Verde. George Carlos Fonseca is a Cape Verdean politician, lawyer and university professor who has been president of Cape Verde since 2011. He served as Minister of Foreign Affairs from 1991 to 1993. Supported by the Movement for Democracy, he won the 2011 presidential elections in the second round of voting. George Fonseca completed his primary and secondary education between Praia and Mindelo, and later his higher education in Lisbon, Portugal. He has a bachelor's degree in law from the University of Lisbon in Portugal and a master's degree in legal science, Faculty of Law from the same university, making him one of the most educated current African presidents. Number 8. Hage Geingob, President of Namibia. Hage Geingob is the third and current president of Namibia. He's been in office since the 21st of March 2015. Geingob was the first Prime Minister of Namibia from the 21st of March 1990 to the 28th of August 2002 and served as Prime Minister again from the 4th of December 2012 to the 21st of March 2015. He received his early education at Otavi in Southwest Africa under the Bantu education system. He later joined the Augustinium, where most of today's prominent political leaders of Namibia were educated. President Geingob has a Bachelor of Arts degree from Fordham University, New York, and a Master of Arts in International Relations from Graduate Faculty in the New School, New York. Number 7. George Weah, President of Liberia. George Weah is a former professional footballer currently serving as the 25th President of Liberia, having taken office in 2018. Prior to his election as president, Weah served as senator for Montserrado County. During his football career, he played as a striker and is the first and only African player to have won the FIFA Ballon d'Or. Weah attended Muslim Congress and High School at Wales Hairston High School. He has a BA in Sports Management from Parkwood University in London. George Weah also has a degree in Business Administration from DeVry University in Miami and a master's degree in management from Keller's Graduate School of Management, putting him on the list of the most educated presidents in Africa. Number 6. Faure Gnassingbé, President of Togo. Faure Gnassingbe is a Togolese politician who's been the president of Togo since 2005. Before assuming the presidency, he was appointed by his father, President Gnassingbe Eyadema, as Minister of Equipment, Mines, Post and Telecommunications, serving from 2003 to 2005. He became the president of Togo in 2005 after the death of his father. Gnassingbe is one of the most educated presidents in Africa. He has a degree in financial management from the University of Sorbonne in France and a master's degree in business administration from George Washington University in the United States. Number 5. Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta, President of Mali. Ibrahim Keïta is a Malian politician who has been the president of Mali since 2013. Previously, he was the Prime Minister of Mali from 1994 to 2000 and the President of the National Assembly of Mali from 2002 to 2007. He founded the political party Rally for Mali in 2001. His administration focuses on one key goal, and that is to eliminate corruption entirely from the country. For this reason, he swears not to tolerate even the slightest dishonesty. Ibrahim Keïta studied at Lycée Janson de Sailly in Paris and Lycée Askia Mohamed in Bamako. He fathered at the University of Dakar, the University of Paris 1 and the Institut d'Histoire des Relations Internationales Contemporaines. Ibrahim Keïta has 3 degrees in Political International Relations, History and Political Science, including graduate degree in Political Science and International Relations. He also has a master's degree in History. Number 4. Alassane Ouattara, President of Ivory Coast. Alassane Ouattara has been President of Ivory Coast since 2010. He was born on the 1st of January 1942 in Zimbokro. His academic qualifications and experiences in financial institutions seem to have given him the best chance to succeed in his presidential bid. Luckily, The Economist hasn't disappointed in showing strength in reviving and sustaining Ivory Coast's economic situation, with its economic growth ranked as one of the biggest in Africa. He received a Bachelor of Science degree in 1965 from the Drexel Institute of Technology, which is now called Drexel University in Philadelphia. Ouattara then obtained both his master's degree in economics in 1967 and a PhD in economics in 1972 from the University of Pennsylvania. Number 3. Peter Mutharika, President of Malawi. Peter Mutharika is a Malawian politician, educator and lawyer who has been president of Malawi since the 31st of May 2014. Mutharika has worked globally in the field of international justice. He is an expert on international law, international economic law and comparative constitutional law. Peter Mutharika has a good academic qualification that partly won him a seat at Malawi's presidency in 2004. Mutharika received his law degree from the University of London in 1965. He then received his LLM and PhD degrees from Yale University in 1966 and 1969 respectively. As a professor, he has taught in the University of Dar es Salaam in Tanzania, Haile Selassie University in Ethiopia, Rutgers University in the United States, and the United Nations Institution for Training and Research Program for Foreign Service Officers from Africa and Asia at Makerere University in Uganda, and for 37 years at Washington University in the USA, and has served as an academic visitor at the London School of Economics, UK. He also served as advisor to the American Bar Association's Rule of Law initiative in Africa. Number 2. King Mohammed VI of Morocco. Mohammed VI is the king of Morocco. He is a member of the Alawid dynasty and ascended the throne on the 23rd of July 1999 upon the death of his father, King Hassan II. As the king of Morocco, he is the superpower of Morocco and the one in charge of appointing the prime minister of the country. Mohammed completed his primary and secondary studies at Collège Royal and obtained his baccalaureate in 1981 before gaining a bachelor's degree in law at the Mohammed V University in Agdal in 1985. In 1987, Mohammed obtained his first Certificat des études supérieures in political science, and in July 1988 he obtained a Diplôme des études approfondies in public law. In November 1988, he trained in Brussels with Jacques Delors, then president of the European Commission. Number 1. John Magufuli, President of Tanzania. He is a Tanzanian politician and the President of Tanzania since 2015. He is also the chairman of the Southern African Development Community. Magufuli started his education at the Chato Primary School from 1967 to 1974 and went on to the Katoke Seminary in Biharamulo for his secondary education from 1975 to 1977 before relocating to Lake Secondary School in 1977 and completing in 1978. He joined Nkwawa High School for his A-levels in 1979 and completed in 1981. That same year, he joined Kwawa College of Education for a diploma in education science, majoring in chemistry, mathematics, and education. He also earned his master's and doctorate degree in chemistry from the University of Dar es Salaam in 1994 and 2009, respectively. There you have it, Explorers. Those were the top 10 most educated presidents in Africa in 2019. Let us know in the comment section below who amongst these presidents is your favorite and why. The best comment will be pinned. Thanks for watching this video. If you want us to cover any of your top 10 topics, please leave your suggestion.
Mama Tigani. Yeah, I know. I know. London. Germany now. Oh, how would you can hear Naboya? So that we run away. I want to eat no buy a guadio. Say I know my guadio. Do down where you class a mano. Never too much to the way. Mama, the Ganyas in no. Shalama in no. Rational amo ajiziage. So I don't want to read that. One on that. So I don't want to read that. And you look good. More than one blow. Yeah, don't want to mumble. Why you blow? Yeah, don't want to mumble. Ah, I did. La Marine, Anula. Oh no. Maya ipo de notre blue. Madame Akese. Madame Akese. Ange Marlène Boula. Soua. Susu. Allez, dis-le, mon gars. Ne pas y ennoyer. Soba. Mami Choco. Mami say ya doga deni. Maya kwese no mojiwa. No wa osan flegi. No wa osan mobalu. Mama ye no wa osan ye won yin be o. Ano madam wa kese mode. Mode, madam wa kese mode. Audio. My people, our daughter who they call black, now bring the gospel to us. So everybody, when you get wish, when you get energy, come. So we can sing God's song together. Anybody who get with you your wish, Russia. If I wait for me, so we can go. Mwadi rewe,